In this report, I share the cost to retire in Fethiye, Turkey, including rents, utilities, groceries, restaurants, transportation, and other expenses for low to middle range living costs. Fethiye, Turkey is a beautiful seaside town on the Mediterranean Sea. We came to Fethiye by bus from Bodrum, Turkey. We were immediately much happier in Fethiye. Fethiye felt more like we were visiting an actual town where locals lived. Yes, both Fethiye and Bodrum have tourists, but in Bodrum it felt like the whole purpose of the town was for tourism. In Fethiye it felt like we were visiting a town full of locals living their daily lives. Bodrum felt like it was half tourists and half locals. Fethiye felt like it was 25% tourists, 75% locals. That made a big difference for us. We felt like we were seeing Turkish people in their element in Fethiye. So in Fethiye, we were able to watch the Turkish culture, the Turkish people live their lives in real time. One of the reasons we travel is to see locals in their own element, so Fethiye felt more real to us. Bodrum felt like an amusement park where the locals were employees and the tourists were customers. We prefer to see locals in their natural habitat, so Fethiye was much more enjoyable. If this is the first you've heard of us, you can browse hundreds of Retire Cheap in Paradise reports all over the world, which are organized by country at Vagabond Awake YouTube playlist, link provided. In this report, I will share my retirement desirability factors such as visa, medical, walkability, internet, food, weather, things to do, social considerations, expat community, real estate, and my overall retirement desirability score. But first, I want to share my estimated costs of living converted into US dollars if the two of us retired in Fethiye year-round on a tight budget. We'll also include more typical expenses that other expats would spend so you have another higher cost data point. Okay, estimated cost to retire in Fethiye, Turkey. Rents. I found this unfurnished 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment advertised for rent for 20,000 Turkish lira, which is 584 US dollars per month for a long-term lease. If you rent for a shorter period on Airbnb, it would be much more expensive. If you rent a larger home or townhouse, long term, the rent would be higher, starting around 1,000 US per month depending upon area and size. Here's the process we use to find great apartments. So we'll show you a table of all expenses in a moment. We'll use 584 per month for rent, for lower rent, and 1,000 per month for the middle cost of living estimate for expats who want more space. Okay, utilities. We estimate the year-round average for our utilities would be around 86 US per month. Utilities would cost more for the larger space, starting at around 127 US per month. Groceries. When possible, we'd purchase fruits and vegetables from the farmer's market, small shops, and street vendors to save money. But we would also shop in grocery stores for non-perishable foods and other things like shampoo and detergent. We estimate around 320 per month for groceries. Other expats are likely to shop more often in expensive grocery stores, often spending more than 440 per month on groceries. We would eat out twice per week, mostly in more local-style restaurants a few blocks back from the beach, average around 7 to 10 US per meal per person, and 1 or 2 splurges per month of 12 to 16 US per meal per person. If you add all that up, we'd spend around 245 per month for the two of us in restaurants. We may have a beer here and there, but that's covered below under alcohol. Other expats are likely to eat more Western-style foods in expensive expat-style restaurants and less in local-style restaurants, so they're likely to spend more like 340 per month for 2 people in restaurants. It is lifestyle dependent. Cell phone data. The cost to get a prepaid SIM card for your unlocked smartphone is about 24 US per month for 20 gigabytes of data. Other expat couples are likely to buy 2 prepaid SIM cards, so they would spend around 48 US dollars per month. Laundry. Our apartment in Fethiye had a washing machine And our grocery prices include the cost of laundry soap, so no extra costs for laundry. Drinking water, we didn't see reverse osmosis delivery in 20-liter jugs here, so we would probably get a Brita water filter for the refrigerator. The filter refills would be about $5 per month. Internet, 60 megabits per second up and down is about $18 US for in-home Wi-Fi. Transportation, Fethiye has the 𝗏𝗲 bus system, which are mini buses. Simply wave your hand to stop them, and the cost is less than 50 cents US. The central part was all walkable, so we didn't ride the bus or taxis while here. We did take a taxi from the Fethiye bus station when we arrived here from Bodrum. We used a private minivan transfer, Fethiye Airport transfer link provided to go from Fethiye City to the Dalman Airport, which was about $50 when we left. We estimate about $30 per month for taxis. Other expats might spend more riding taxis and less on public transportation or walking, so I estimate around $80 a month for them. Alcohol, which is optional. Domestic beer in grocery stores in Fethiye are about 72 Turkish lira or $2.10 US, and that's for the half-liter beers. In bars and restaurants, the domestic beers range from about a happy hour low of 80 Turkish lira, which is $2.34, to a high of about 180 Turkish lira, which is $5.26 US once the happy hour is over. So we estimate about 160 per month on alcohol for the two of us. Many other expats would spend a higher amount for imported foreign or craft beers in expat bars, so about 220 per month for two people, assuming they're not into imported whiskey or wine. Entertainment, which is optional, of course, we would budget about 200 per month for entertainment for the two of us. We enjoy more do-it-yourself kinds of entertainment, so expats might spend a little more, maybe 300 per month for the two of them. Okay, estimated costs to retire in Fethiye, Turkey. First, the lower cost, rent $584, utilities $86, groceries $320. These are US prices. Rents $245, cell data $24, laundry $0, drinking water $5, internet $18, transportation $30. A total for the basic cost would be $1,312 per month. $160 for alcohol would put us at $1,472. $200 for entertainment would put us at $1,672 per month. Let's look at the middle. With the higher rents, higher utilities, groceries, and restaurants, and taxis, you would be at $2,058 per month for basic costs. Add $220 for alcohol would put you at $2,278. $300 for optional entertainment would put you at $2,578 for the middle range. Now, we gathered this data with our feet on the ground here in September of 2024. The above lower estimate would be if the two of us lived in Fethiye, Turkey on a tight budget. The middle estimate is just an example of what other expats might spend if they moved here. To understand what it would cost you to live here, you must put your feet on the ground, see how you choose to live, eat, and entertain yourself, and add it all up. It doesn't matter what anyone else spends because we are all different. Okay, Fethiye, Turkey, livability factors. Before you move anywhere outside your home country, make sure to create a list of the things you must have for your happy retirement. Here are my livability factors, and I'll rank each as high, medium, or low before assigning an overall retirement desirability score to Fethiye. Okay, walkability. I would say high. Unless it's raining, we would walk everywhere in Fethiye. The area we enjoy most is in central Fethiye. Everything we needed was in the central area, so we would have no reason to have a car and would not even need a taxi very often. Everything we needed was within a 15-minute walk. Okay, internet, I would say high. The in-home Wi-Fi in our apartment was 52 megabits per second down and 23 megabits per second up. Good enough for us to do Zoom calls, upload YouTube videos, and watch Netflix. We were also able to use our cell phones as hotspots when we were out of the house together. Okay, food, I would say high. You'll find small family-owned restaurants in neighborhoods a few blocks back from the water with dishes for $5 to $10 US. but not on the water. In restaurants below, I will list some of those restaurants where we loved the local Turkish food. There's also international food restaurants. It costs more, like 10 to 16 US per meal. There's no shortage of delicious restaurants at various price points. We would also cook mini meals at home using the fresh food we bought in the farmer's market. Google map link below. I recommend staying away from the Fethiye fish market. To understand why, read its lowest reviews on Google, link provided. Okay, weather. Daily highs average from 61 Fahrenheit, which is 16 Celsius in January, up to 96 Fahrenheit, which is 36 Celsius in July. Nightly lows average from 45 Fahrenheit or 7 Celsius in January to 78 Fahrenheit, which is 26 Celsius in July. The best time to visit is June through September, unless you like cooler weather, then visit in the spring and fall. The rainy season is November through March. Things to do, I would say medium. Fethiye has island hopping, swimming, scuba, fishing, and water sports. There is live music, people watching, nightlife, beach life, culture tours, coffee shops, shopping, and a bit of ancient history. To learn more about the annual festivals in Fethiye, such as the Fethiye International Culture and Arts Festival, the Spring Meeting Festival, the Dastar and Morel Mushroom Festival, and the Kareta Turtle Festival, and the Air Games Festival, visit these two links provided on the webpage. Social consideration. English is spoken in Fethiye, especially in the tourist-facing businesses. The people are very friendly and helpful here. I don't believe you'll face any additional challenges because you are a foreigner. Safety considerations. Crime is fairly rare in Fethiye and is mostly limited to petty crime. Like almost anywhere in the world, don't leave valuables out in the open. Here are my thoughts on how to remain safe all over the world. Link provided. Also, the U.S. State Department link, travel advisories for each part of the world, which you should be aware of. Turkey is a level 2 right now. Exercise increased caution. We often travel to level 2 locations, so that was not a concern for us, but you should be aware of it nevertheless. Expat communities. Expat community. Here are a few Facebook pages that cater explicitly to English-speaking expats living in Fethiye. These online expat communities are great for learning things that expats want to learn when they first move overseas. You will often find that someone has answered your questions recently, so don't waste their time by asking it again before searching for and reading answers. Okay, medical. I would say medium. The Healthcare International Comparison Index ranks Turkey 63rd in the world, 6 spots better than the United States, which ranked 69th. There are different ways healthcare is rated, but this one seems to be considering quality of care in relation to what patients are charged. If you decide to move here, and make sure to ask around for referrals and establish relationships with doctors for your special needs based on feedback you have gotten from others who've used their services. The above expat Facebook pages may be a good source for that sort of information. Of course, the best hospitals are often in the larger or capital cities, so you may need to go to Istanbul for problems occasionally. Tourist visa. The Turkish government now has an 𝗖𝗵𝗲 webpage, link provided, that both Chung and I used to determine that we did not need an visa before flying to Turkey. But you should check before you fly because rules change all the time. Many countries, including Americans and Malaysians, can stay in Turkey 90 days upon entry. We had an exit flight and accommodations ready to show the officials upon entry, but they did not ask to see either. They stamped both of our passports, allowing 90 days upon entry. Retirement visa. There's no retirement visa for Turkey. On paper, there's several visas available, but the one that seems to be still working efficiently is called the property purchase visa. But you have to be very careful to make sure that you pick a property that fulfills the minimum purchase price and is in an area that qualifies. According to this source, the minimum price is now $200,000 US. If you decide to use the source link shown, please complete your own due diligence because I do not know this source personally. Turkey also has marriage visas, family visas, student visas, work visas, language course visas, and business visas, but they are delayed and often refused, so do not seem as dependable. However, the right immigration lawyer may be able to thread that needle for you. Rather than promoting any particular immigration lawyer I read about online, I would request a referral to a lawyer on one of the expat Facebook pages I shared above. I would ask the expats for an immigration lawyer who they have already successfully used to get their residence permits for Turkey. I would not pay someone to help me get residency until I have confirmation from an expat who used their services to successfully gain residency. Okay, real estate. Apparently foreigners can own real estate in Turkey if they follow the appropriate procedures. According to the webpage for the 2-bedroom rental I shared above, the average price for homes in that area is around $156,000 US. The webpage also has property for sale if you'd like to see what is available at your price point. Just right-click on the webpage in Google Chrome and click the Translate into English button. I would not buy real estate in a foreign country until I have lived there for an extended period of time, making sure I loved it after the honeymoon period was over. I would also hire a lawyer who has no conflict of interest with me. Do not use a lawyer recommended by your real estate broker or your local lover. I would seek a referral from an expat who has used that lawyer's services to successfully buy real estate in Turkey. Okay, Fethiye, Turkey, overall desirability score. The natural beauty in this part of Turkey is amazing. Fethiye has felt like a nice community with people of all ages living and playing together. This is definitely a tourist location, but just a few blocks back, it feels much more local to me. However, I'm only giving Fethiye a medium retirement desirability score for the following reason. Turkey has experienced significant inflation over the last 5 years. 2020, 12%, 2021, 19%, 2022, 72%, and 54% in 2023. This extreme inflation made it difficult for both locals and expats living here. So keep an eye on inflation before making any long-term plans here. If the government gets this under control, then I will rank Fethiye as highly desirable. Fethiye is not going to end up in my annual top 15 places in the world to retire, but it is a charming place to visit. In a moment, I'll share a video with my top 15 places in the entire world to retire cheap in paradise. What would it cost you to live in Fethiye, Turkey? To get a better understanding of things you should add to our estimated cost of living, watch this video, 9 reasons you can't retire on $1,000 a month overseas. Most people will likely be unable to retire for the lower range estimate above. I give example reasons why in this report, link provided, plus the other report explains how to avoid coming home early with a tail between your legs. Also, if you're going to try to retire cheap offshore, make sure to read my report, The 2 Biggest Risks of Retiring Early for Cheap Offshore, which explains why you should have emergency funds available for unexpectedly large expenses. You should also add anything to the above table that you spend money on in your home country that's not listed in the above table. Presumably, you find those things necessary in life. To do that, visit the Numbeo Fethiye and add anything not mentioned in the above table. Never move anywhere until you've visited first personally to verify the living costs for your lifestyle and needs. I'm not guaranteeing these prices. These are just my notes and estimates from the time of my visit and this post. Your costs will likely be drastically different depending on your lifestyle and the time since this post. Most of the expats we meet living overseas are self-insured for medical care. That means that not everyone buys health insurance when they move overseas. That probably sounds crazy to many of you. I didn't carry medical insurance for my first 17 years living overseas, but last year I bought medical insurance. If you're wondering what it costs and what it covers, watch my medical insurance video at this link. This is not an affiliate link. More typical expat living costs in Fethiye, Turkey range from around $2,000 to $4,000 per month. But people spending that much often have higher savings, incomes, or pensions. They often report spending more on accommodations, entertainment, eating out more, traveling, and alcohol. Many also have more expensive cars, houses, or apartments. For all the links discussed in this video, click the first link in the first comment below. To hear my top 15 places in the world to retire cheap in paradise, click the video in the upper right-hand corner of your screen right now.
We are leaving! We finished!
We're out of here, man. We're gone.